one of the things we were massively lacking last season is pace, particularly in the forward line. And that was exaggerated when Crycensio Summerville picked up his injury in the first half of Potter's first game against Aston Villa away in the FA Cup. And he ended up missing the rest of the season, which was a real shame because he looked like one of the players that was going to benefit from the new manager, from the new system. He looked like he had a new lease of life. And to be honest with you, I don't even think he performed badly under Julian Lopetegui. I think he was one of our bright sparks, actually, in that first half of the season. He was quite unlucky to be dropped, in my opinion, a few times from Lopetegui. He seemed to be in and out of the first team. But when he did play, he looked like he had something there. He obviously scored his first goal against Manchester United. And I was really sort of positive going into the Potter reign, and particularly after that first 45 minutes, he looked like he offered something completely different from that right wing-back role. His pace was a key highlight. He obviously set up the goal for Paqueta, and he just looked like a constant threat down that right-hand side. And obviously, he could play a few positions in that system. He could play as one of the sort of front three, one of the two sort of tens, if you like, behind the striker, or from a wing-back position if needed. And it was a real shame that he picked up that injury and ended up missing the rest of the season. We obviously had the big thing with his surgery. He initially chose not to have it and wanted it to heal naturally. The club tried to push him towards that surgery, and he ended up having it, and that has prolonged his period out of the team. And now we're going to this summer not really knowing when we're going to see him. And there's conflicting reports on that. Some people are saying that he should be back in pre-season and he will feature in pre-season, and others saying it will probably be September that we're likely to see him in the first team. I think either way, from what I've sort of read and heard, is that he's not going to be risked. I think that's logical, and I think that makes sense and understandable given the circumstances for Graham Potter. He can't afford to lose Somerville for another half of the season. So I think it's one that we're going to see drips and drabs of Somerville at the start of the season, maybe a few appearances from the bench. And yeah, I think it won't be till sort of September time we actually see him starting in the first team. That's just my opinion. I don't know exactly when his sort of due date to come back is, but yeah, he's not going to be risked from Potter. He's going to be monitored closely, and it'll be interesting to see how much we can get of him in the first sort of opening few weeks of the season. But I do think he'll be making appearances from the bench. And I think it's a big season for him. I'm really hoping that it's a sort of breakthrough season for him at West Ham, and a real, a breakthrough season in the Premier League. He obviously has played in the Premier League under Leeds and done well. But this is his sort of opportunity to really stake a claim in the first 11. I think he's clearly, if he's playing well and he's fit, he's going to be a first team player. And yeah, I'm really hoping it's a big season for him. I think he's got the potential to replace what Kudus did, particularly last season, and score goals, assist, again, offer that pace that we drastically need. And I do think either way, Somerville or not, I think it's something that we need to rectify in this summer transfer window. I think we need a player who plays in, obviously, off the left or in one of the number 10 positions, off of the striker that has pace. And we need another striker as well. Let's not forget that Fulkrug was missing a lot of last season as well. He had his own injury problems, and we can't rely on Fulkrug, even a few kilos lighter and a good pre-season under the belt. I don't think we can rely on Nicholas Fulkrug playing a full season. We need another striker, and this is something I mentioned on our live call on Monday. I can't believe we've not been linked with more strikers. It seems like it's gone really quiet on the striker front. Obviously, we've been working on the Juve deal. Now we sort of look like we're going towards the central midfield, which is definitely needed in my opinion. But I hope we do also address the striking issue that we clearly have. And I hope this season, I mean, we've had enough issues with the striker position at West Ham, haven't we? It's been almost a bit of a curse for West Ham. And I hope we go into this season with actually a couple of options for once. We always seem to buy one striker and just put all our eggs in that basket that he's going to be the man. And previously, we've had Antonio to sort of get us out of trouble a little bit. But obviously, last season we didn't. It doesn't look like next season we are going to either. So I hope we bring in someone else to give us another option to Nicholas Fulkrug. We don't know what Cummings, the young lad, is going to do. I don't think we'll see too much of him, particularly at the start of the season. So we definitely need another striker. We definitely need another winger/10, if you like. And both of those, in my opinion, massively need to have pace and be able to run in behind and stretch teams. I think it's clear that we're going to play the wing-back system to begin with anyway. But Potter does like to change things. He's quite adaptable in that respect. And I do think that we are going to be playing counter-attacking football at some times this season, and you need pace. You massively need pace. We saw it under David Moyes that when we had pace in the front line and people that can move and run off the ball, that counter-attacking football works so much better. When you don't, it's so difficult to cause our other team problems because they can just push their back line up thinking, well, they're not running in behind us. It's not going to cause us too many problems. So we definitely need pace. We definitely need pace, and hopefully that can come from Somerville and a couple of signings. But yeah, I do think it's a massive season for Somerville. I really hope we see the best of him because I think he's got high potential and I think he can work really well under Potter. And like I say, I really like the fact that he already seems like he can play a couple of positions and offer something different. That we don't really have elsewhere in the squad. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It'll be interesting to see, like I said, how much we see of him in pre-season. I do think I do hope in that respect that he is monitored closely and he's not rushed back, because I think if we rush him back and he picks up another injury, it's just going to be an absolute nightmare. And we've had enough of these sort of injury issues in the past where players just don't seem to be able to get fit. They come in, they look promising, and then they pick up an injury, and then it's another injury, and that's another injury. And I don't know why there's so much mystery around our sort of injuries and our medical department. I don't know if it's a problem in diagnosing these issues, these injuries initially, or if it is just cloak and dagger and we want to keep it under wraps. I don't understand why. If you just come out and say he's got this injury and he's going to be out for this length of time, don't shorten it and just sort of think that the news is going to go down better. Just tell us so we know that, you know, when we're likely to see them in a West Ham shirt again. But that's probably a topic for a different day in terms of our injuries and our history with those. But let's hope Somerville has a really good season, because one thing is clear is that we're not going to spend loads of money this summer transfer window. So we are going to have to get more out of the players that we've already got in the squad. And one player that I definitely think has the potential to offer a lot more than he did last season because of injuries is Somerville. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Somerville. Also, the away kit has been launched today. I wouldn't say I really like it. It's obviously quite a simple, plain design, but I do like it. I actually have to say I do like it. I prefer it to the home kit. I think it is simple, but it's nice and clean. I do like the colour. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. I think it's a pretty smart kit. It's not anything to write home about, and I am looking forward to the New Balance kits, I have to say. I think we've had enough of Umbro now for a few years, but the away kit I don't think is that bad, to be honest. I think it's okay. It'll be interesting to see the third kit as well. But let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on Somerville, and I'll catch you on the next one.